Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, we'll be learning how to draw an Archimedean spiral of one convolution where the distance from the center of the circular object to the outer point, which we'll call T, is 40 millimeter. Now we're going to be doing this in AutoCAD. Now let's get into things without any further ado. First, we're going to start by drawing a horizontal line, and we're going to mark a point on one end that we're going to call O on it. That is going to be the center of our spiral. So let's go ahead and draw that one. So an horizontal line, this horizontal line will measure 40 millimeters. Alright, so that's our 40 millimeters, as you can see there. Let me move it up closer. Right there. Alright, now once you're done, so we're going to label each point. So we're going to call this point here O. So let me go ahead and activate my text tool right here, multi-line. This point here, that's O. And then on this point here, we're going to add, let's make it T. Yeah, capital T. Alright, great. Now, from there now, the next thing that we're going to be doing is that we are going to be constructing a circle. Now this circle here, we're going to go ahead and activate our circle command, place it at O here. That's where our center is going to be, and we're going to open our cursor until we get to point T over here. Alright, there you go. So now we have our circle. So I hope everybody can see what is going on here. Let me place these on my annotation there. Alright, so all I'm doing is moving these out of the way a bit. Let me move it here. Alright, now once we have those in place, the next step that we're going to take, or the next step, is that we're going to divide this radius here. So basically what we're going to be doing is that we're going to be dividing this line here. Now you could decide to divide this line into 4, 8, 12, similar to other engineering curves. Alright, the option is yours. Alright, you could go 12. The more points you have, the smoother your curve is going to be. I think for this I'm just going to make it 8. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this line into 8 equal parts. So I'm going to go div on my keyboard, press enter, then click on my line here. Once I've done so, I'll enter 8, just like that. Press enter. Now you're not going to see anything happening here right now. What you'll have to do, I want you to type these letters on your keyboard, P, T, and then press enter. This window is going to pop up. Simply select one of these other points here. I'm going to go with this one here. I'm going to change everything down here to absolute and change this number to 2. Should be fine. You know what, let me make it 1. Alright, now once you have those lines divided, the next thing that you're going to do is that you're going to take this line here. So you're going to select everything here. That's what I want you to do, select everything here, and you're going to use your polar array tool. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and you're going to click on this drop down menu right here and click on polar array. Next thing I want to do is click in the middle here at point O. Alright, then you're going to have it like this. Now currently I think this is 6 lines, but the amount of divisions that we want should be equal to how many times we divided this horizontal line here, which was 8. So we're going to change this number here from 6 to 8. Alright, so now it is 8. Alright, the next thing that I want you to do is that you're going to be drawing some circles. Alright, you're going to be drawing some circles. So let me go ahead and draw those circles. So I'm going to activate my circle command here, click in point this point here. And just before we get into things, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to label these points here. Alright, I'm going to label these points here, and I probably should have done that before I went ahead with all of this, so we can have some clarity in relation to what is going on. So let me go ahead and label those points now. So I'm going to go ahead and label this one here. This is going to be point 1. Now I'm going to make this text a bit smaller. Let me just make it about half that current size, like this. 0.5. All I'm doing is scaling it down. 0.5. Alright, great. Let me place it on the relevant layer, which is my annotation layer, and I'm going to copy it over to the other points here, 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 and make our way over to here, here, and here. And we're going to go through and label now. So we're at 1 now. This is going to be 2. So I'm just going to go through now and rename these points here. That's 3. Double tap here. That's 4. And then we're at 5 now. Come on. We're at 5 now. We're at 6 now. 6. Then we're at 7. And now 8 would be point T right here. Alright, but we don't need to worry about that now because we know that's going to be it. Alright, now the next thing that we're going to do is that we're going to draw our circles. We're going to draw a bunch of circles. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to select circle command here, and I'm going to click in at O, and I'm going to open a circle to point 1. Next thing, I'm going to repeat that command, and I'm going to do the same thing, but now I'm going to 2. I'm getting to get the drift of what is going to go on now. So I'm going to make my way to 3, then 4, then 5, 6, 7, and for 8 we don't need to do that because you already have the outer circle. Alright, now from there, now it is now time for us to draw our spiral of 1 convolution. Alright, now what we're going to do is that we're going to be simply activating our spline line tool here. Go ahead and select right inside here, spline, or you could type the command SPRL. Alright, so I'm going to go here and click right in the center. Alright, so I'm going to start in the center like this. Alright, this is where I'm going to start. Alright, you don't necessarily have to start here in the center because you could start at T as well, and here is how it basically works. Say for example I'm going to start at T right here. Alright, I click on T, then I make my way to this first point here. Alright, once I've clicked there, I'll then make my way to the other circle point. Basically it's as if I'm jumping down a step as I'm going along. So now once I've done with that, I'll make my way to the next one, then going in a bit further on the next circle, then in a bit on the next circle, in more a bit on the next circle, zooming in to the next circle, and then I continue this process until I get to where? The center right here. Once I've done so, I'm simply going to move my cursor a bit straight. Let me turn off OSnap like this, and then I press enter on my keyboard. Alright, now there you go. This is our Archimedean spiral, believe it or not. Alright, now all the thing that left for us to do right now is to basically place the things that needs to be on the relevant layer on those relevant layers. For example, all of that cross and all that stuff should be on our construction layer now, and the only thing that is going to be bold for us will be our spiral itself. Alright, so remember, whenever you have a group object, all you need to do is simply type X on your keyboard and press enter. Then you'll be able to manipulate those afterwards. So let's place these on our construction layer. Alright, let's place them on our construction layer, all these here. Alright, let's go. Alright, let's place them on our construction layer. Alright, now once you have done so, this is something that I've seen other persons do with theirs. Alright, to make things a bit simpler for them and make things just a tad clearer. is that what they do is that they'll use their spiral here, and they'll use it as a cutting plane, and they'll activate the trim command after clicking on it. TR, enter, and then they'll get rid of every line that is on the outside of the spiral, such as all of these here. So for example, here, and all that stuff. Alright, how are we going to do it? Let's start things off now. So for example, this here, right, our cutting plane is going to be right here. Alright, but we need two cutting planes for all of them. Alright, so we're going to select this horizontal line, and we're going to select our spline line. Alright, then we type TR, press enter, then we're going to get rid of all of the circle that falls outside of that. Alright, if that makes sense. Alright, the only thing that will remain is the inner ones. Alright, so here we go. This is our Archimedean spiral. It's just a matter of us cleaning up now and us writing the name of this here. So for example, our title, which is spiral, Archimedean spiral, if you want to call it that, you can go ahead and write that down here. Let's see if I can spell this correctly. Archimedean, is it or an? Well, it will correct me. Archimedean. Alright, and then we put spiral, so it's a spiral of one convolution. Alright, one convolution. After that, we're going to add below it the scale that we drew in. The scale is going to be 1 to 1. Alright, we always draw in scale 1 to 1. Let's place it on that side. Move this one over. And I like when the scale is half the size of the top one, so I'm going to make it 2. Alright, just like that. And if you want, you could underline your title by simply selecting the U here. Alright, just like that. This can be placed on our annotation layer, just like that. Alright, and there you go. We have our Archimedean spiral. Alright, now you'll remember that some of these need to be on our construction layer, such as all of these division points that we have here. If you want, you could add those to your construction layer. Alright, now this wasn't too bad, and AutoCAD makes things very simple. Alright, so we have our smooth curve there. Alright, so if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Alright, and let me know in the comments if you'd like me to cover more construction like this. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.